Blessings, 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 blessings be unto you. This is Mercedes Warwick, and welcome to the Spirituality of Cancer. Wanted to talk today. This idea was stimulated from a post from a friend of mine who is suffering from insomnia and was wondering what to do at night. And I was thinking about that, and I do have some times when I can't sleep at night, and a lot of times when I can't sleep at night, there's physical sensations going through my body. Like the night sweats are horrible. Like I'm just drenched. I mean, I have night sweats where everything's just wet. I mean, it's just soaking wet. Like I've just stepped out of the shower and stepped into bed. I mean, it just is. They're not comfortable. Anxiety, if there's something on my mind, and again, a lot of times had a tremendous amount of anxiety around the doctor wanting to switch my medication. I'm not an early adapter of anything, and I'd been on the same meds for 3 years, and the amount of anxiety that I've been going through has been about that, and just the busyness of the mind, and then recognizing the other thing that happens sometimes that keeps me up at night is I don't know that I'm afraid or that I'm apprehensive about something. I think we all, one night I was like, I wonder what cancer fatigue is. And I feel like this is cancer fatigue. Like I'm just tired of having cancer. I'm just done. Tired of having to manage a life around it. Tired of the once a month reminders, because I have to get my blood checked, and then they go through the charts and all of that, so it's a once a month check-in. Tired of doing that. Tired of brain fog. Oh my god. Brain fog is just, and when way in the beginning, I didn't realize there was cancer-related brain fog, and then there was medicine-related brain fog. I was just a mess. I mean, I would wake up on Monday, and then one day it would be Saturday, and I'd have no idea of what had happened in between. I mean, it was just horrible. Let's see, pain. I don't entertain pain in my body. Never have. And so I just don't keep it. And sometimes with cancer, that option is stretched a little. And so what do I do when I have pain in my body? And so the overall thing, pain to the point of keeping me up. Now, my pain isn't probably typical, but I don't know if maybe you have experienced sort of sensations in your body, like dull aches, that just don't go away. I've had that, in my hips and in my joints, where you kind of roll over and then you feel this thing, and it's kind of in the beginning it would wake me up, right? So I don't medicate a lot of times for pain, which drives my doctors crazy. And I don't know that that is something that I would recommend. You've got to do you. That's the premise of everything that I do here. I'm not telling you to do it my way. I'm just telling you my experiences. And, but there's been times when I have taken the medicine, there'd be a side effect. They'd be giving me a medicine or suggesting a medicine for the side effect. And then that medicine would cause something else. I could have been on 12 or 14 different pills. And I'm maybe on 12 or 14 different vitamins now, but I'm not on, because the toxicity, it's just like, I kept saying to myself, what is this stuff doing to my body? What is the toxic load in my body? It wasn't even so much what the doctors were telling me. It just seemed to be almost like common sense. I'm taking this pill to get, it was just sort of this maze that I could have been on. So what I have found is that I do my spiritual practices when I can't sleep. Sometimes that's breathing. It does not tend to be meditation so much, because I don't believe that in some of these circumstances that I'm actually, it's like I'm in the middle of it, you know. I can't release myself enough from the physicality. So what I try to do is I connect into life. I do dissolving. Talked about that in another video. I do rhythmic breathing. I imagine the energy of God flowing into me. I do 36 breaths. I haven't talked about that. That's the mother of everything you. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting here 36 breaths around my neck, and I've got 36 breaths in my hand as I'm speaking to you. That is the heart of everything that I do. It is the pump of life. And I will do 36 breaths. And I think the other thing is keeping things very simple. So I have a list of Bible verses that I have very special meaning and significant meaning to me. When I'm in my 36 breath practice and there's a bubbling up that comes, I have, I'm not very disciplined about this one, but I do have a book that I write the bubbling ups in, the significant ones. They're sort of scattered in between the 4 journals I've always got going, but I found that if I have that one book and if I can be at all disciplined about putting the poignant ones into that book, I can look through that book and pull up one, and then that's what I sit with, and that's what I dissolve into. There have been times that I have actually said, I'm just going to put myself in this pain. I had a pain in my heel that's been fairly persistent. It comes and goes. I do walk, but there was this pain. It was so bad at one point I thought I was going to pop my Achilles tendon. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is, you know. And one night I got really frustrated, I'll use that word, with it. I was just like, I am so tired of this thing, you know, happening. And it was getting to the point again where you're moving in bed or something and it would wake you up, wake me up. And one day I just put myself right in the pain. I was like, okay, take your best shot. I just like, take your best shot, I'm going in. And I just stayed on that spot because, and I wish I could tell you that I believe that I am the light of God and all of this other stuff. I just put myself into that pain, you know, and I sat there and I said, you know, basically take your best shot, because when I wake up, when I come out of this, I'm taking you out, the pain's leaving with me. And I still have some, what do you call it? I still have some dull things, and I may wake up and I put my foot down on the ground and it's a little stiff or something like that, but it was not anywhere close to where it was before. So sometimes I find like if I just put myself in, I'm going in, that's it. But I do it through the spiritual. We talked about existence and the different aspects of, and then the different frequencies. And sometimes I ask myself, reveal to me the frequency that will balance out this pain. You know, reveal to me. And when I spoke earlier, when I was in the hospital and the first time the revealing came, and it was in those 9 days, and I said, reveal to me, I wasn't using the word frequency at the time, but reveal to me the whatever that will balance out this cancer. I actually asked that. And the bubbling ups when because I had a set of 36 breaths, and the answer came, I am happy. And at the time, happy, you know, this whole spiritual thing about happiness is fleeting and this and that. And my guidance said, no, happiness is the now moment. God is now. God's not the thing that's the thing that happened behind you yesterday, 6 years ago, you know, even a position that somebody might have had that, you know, we're in this political season. Oh, I'm not going to vote for him because 50 years ago he did this, and this. Well, what's happening now? That's the spiritual principle. What's happening now? So my part of my lesson through cancer has been happiness. What's happening in the now? And then the definition of happiness came because I kept sitting with it and contemplating it, and then the breath of the now is happiness and contentment, or satisfaction and contentment contained within each now moment. And then they said contained within each breath. So don't worry about the breath you're about to take. I couldn't breathe at the time, so that's why that was so poignant. But don't worry about the breath you're about to take. Don't worry about the breath that you've taken. Worry about the breath that you are currently in. So when I go into that pain, when I go into the 36 breaths and I put 36 breaths into that pain, you know, then I'm in that now. Okay. Let's see, what else have I written here. I run the frequency of God in my body every day. Every day I feed my body the frequency of God, the mana from God. Sometimes I see it when I close my eyes. I can see, it's almost like static, you know, like in the old-fashioned black and white TVs, there was that static. It looks like that. And I actually invite that to come into my body. And that's sort of the pulling in of God into my body, because, you know, I just get fortified. I get fed. And a lot of times I feel better. I just feel better, not just with pain or anxiety or can't sleep. I just feel better. And so that is a spiritual practice that I will use. I still may not go to sleep, but at least I'm cultivating life force energy in my body. So I use the time at night, if I can't sleep, to cultivate life force energy into my body, to cultivate a connection with God. And then the other thing is, when I do my dissolving, and I dissolve and I actually sort of go into one of the other aspects, the oneness of God, the mentalism of God, the mind of God, and when I dissolve into the frequencies of Source, and I can just dissolve there and rest, even if I don't actually physically sleep, there is a cultivation of life force energy, and I can wake up, you know, but I can become present with a different feeling of life and living. And so I connect in with the parts of my body, the parts of my energy, the parts that are working, and I thank them. Thank you, kidneys, for all of the filtering that you are doing. Thank you, digestion, for all of the breaking up and the removal of things that are not serving me well, not being nutritious to my life or my body. Thank you, womb, for allowing me to be creative. Thank you, navel, for the connection of the mother, with the mother energy, the mother energy. Thank you, God, for being the creative force. God is only creation. And I will sit there and just, you may want to call it self-talk, but I do it from the energy of the dissolving. I don't do it in the energy of me just trying to be in a different physical space. I don't do it from the mind. I do it from the heart and from the dissolution, from the dissolving, from the merging, and I do it from that space. That's why that dissolving is so important. If you know nothing else from me, nothing else, dissolving will change your perspective, right? That's the one thing. And keep it simple. Don't try to be, you know, sometimes the Lord's Prayer, which I pray Lord's Prayer into my water. You know, the Lord's Prayer, my mother gave it to me when I thank my mother for the Lord's Prayer in the 23rd Psalm. That's what she's given me. And sometimes I can't get through it. And they just keep it as simple as possible. I am happy. I am happy. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Talk to those cancer cells, get them out of my body. Just get them out. Get out, get out, get out. You know. I feel life flowing through my body. I feel life flowing through that channel, that divine channel. I feel the cycles of living. I'm grateful. We get anxious about not sleeping. It creates sort of like you're on the hamster wheel. We can't get off of that wheel because now you're worrying about rest and sleeping and not being fortified. And so try to use those hours as productively as you can without creating more doing. Like it's very, very rare that I would be in a state of not sleeping and then get up and try to go paint or fill up that space with physical work. And some exercise may help or something like that, but I'm just talking about, well, I'm not sleeping, so I'm gonna go do this. Oh, I'm not sleeping, so I'm gonna go do that. Every time I check the clock, because I guess that's the other thing. What time is it now? Every time I check the clock, I found that I was doing that. What time is it now? What time is it now? And it's like, it's now. That is the time. It is now. That is the time. I am now. That is the time. And then the final thing I'll say is, and I learned this over Ramadan. I wanted to I just wanted to be in the frequency. I just met somebody and I just wanted to understand what they were doing and going through, and I wasn't able to fast, but I took my 36 breaths and I did 36 breaths 5 times a day. So that might be something that you do. I am that I am, or I am the I am. I am the life and I am the resurrection. And through this time, that is the evening, that is the time of darkness, I surrender into the nurturing force of the mother energy and allow this energy to refabricate my very being, my very soul. And I allow myself to come into the emergence so that as I emerge with the dawning of the new day, I am now fortified, fulfilled. Fill me up. Fill me up with the life force and the knowing force and the spiritual force of the all-knowing. So that which I do not know comes forward and I become brilliance. I become brilliance. I am brilliance. That's just coming forward right now. I am brilliance through this time of Anoniekena, of resting in the knowing. I release my heart into God. I release my spirit into nurturing. And I dissolve here into the existence of that which I am. You'll begin, Anoniekena, you'll begin to generate this renewing, a mind renewed. And whatever, you may have a personal spiritual practice that you do, bring it into the nighttime hours and enjoy you'll feel the difference in the frequency. Enjoy it, explore it, get curious about it and enhance it, amplify it. Thank you so much for listening. Boy, this was a long one. But I have actually come to enjoy the nighttime hours. And sometimes I will admit to you, especially the night sweats. Oh my gosh, the night sweats. There's just sometimes it's so hard to get to that spiritual mindset with those sweats and everything. And I'm sure you might have something like that. But I just keep reminding myself, and I try my best to dissolve into the knowingness. Okay? I love you. Thank you so much for listening. And that is enough for now. We love you, we love you, we love you, we love you very deeply. Blessings be unto you. Namaste.